Welcome to Plans Are Booked, a podcast for every reader. I'm Molly Geller.
And I'm Caitlin Madison. Welcome to chapter 127.
We're getting up there.
I know. I was trying to think. No, I got nothing. The triple digit numbers don't really have. I mean, we'll get to some area codes soon, I think. So that'll be good. Well, we're in the dead of summer. It's happening. Like, we are in it. I couldn't fall asleep last night, had the news on. They were throwing out stats about this heat wave that we're about to get, and they said 2024 Boston had 12 90-degree plus days, 2025 19, and 2026 we're already at 12 before today. So I think we're at 13 because I think it did hit 90 today, and then it's going to hit it tomorrow and Thursday. We have like 8 weeks of summer left. Like, we're going to beat that no problemo.
My most frequently used verb this week has been perishing.
It's been like, even though Connell, my dog, is from Puerto Rico, he does not do well in the heat. Like, he goes for like a 10-minute walk and he's like dragging me home. Like, he is not interested. And I feel bad for him because he loves being outside. But hopefully it means at daycare he's doing his thing. I don't know.
Didn't you buy, was it like a kiddie pool or like a splash pad?
He did not. The other dogs enjoyed it on July 4th. He did not go in it. He went near it and he was intrigued that other people were like walking through it, but he didn't do it. So I don't know. I did just order him a life jacket because at the end of the month we're going to Portland, Maine, and we're staying at a house that has a pool. And so for safety purposes, one, I want him to be in one, and two, I want to put him in the pool and see what he thinks. So that should be pretty cute. But
I love that. Scout used to think that the baby pool was like a giant water dish and he would just drink from it, but he did love the sprinklers that go like this.
Mm-hmm.
And he would leap through them with joy.
Yeah. I was really hoping for that for Connell because he gets so hot. And like, there are a lot of times where it's like, okay, we only did a 10-minute walk. So like, let's go back out in the backyard for a little bit. And there's like shade or whatever. And I was like, this will be a nice option if he's into it, but he wasn't into it. But it was cute. The other dogs liked it. One of the dogs was this huge Australian shepherd, and he was like in heaven because I think he's just permanently hot. It was really cute.
I love that.
So what have you been up to? Your family has landed.
Oh yes. Last week I chatted all about my parents ascending, descending, arriving.
Sure.
And we are cohabitating here at the beach. My dad is an amazing cook and I've benefited from so many epic meals. And we've got a lot more aunts and uncles and cousins who are rolling in over the coming days and weeks. So this is like peak Galler family mode, summer in Hull. So I'm very, very excited. And this upcoming weekend, I am traveling to upstate New York to go to my childhood sleepaway camp to celebrate the 50th anniversary. And it's so cool because in addition to people who I grew up with in my bunk over the years, our counselors are coming back, old camp directors are coming back, people like me, their parents are coming with to be able to see the other parents and all the, kids who have been a part of their children's lives forever. And rumor has it there's some special limited edition merch for this occasion. And as you know, I love anything limited edition. So I'm very, very excited to see what is going to be at that welcome table when we arrive.
Oh, I love this. I love it. If there's a pen, you know where to find me. So I feel like this part of the summer, like between July 4th and like the end of July, is kind of this like, I don't want to say lull, but like I don't have a whole lot going on. And then like the end of July arrives and it's like bing, bang, bong, doing everything. So like last week I was like adulting, right? Like I got a new furnace and AC system put in. My parents came and stayed with me because they had some medical appointments, and then they like really bailed me out because the furnace AC thing was a 2-day extravaganza.
It always is.
I didn't want to like have to take like vacation time in the middle of the summer to sit in my house with no air conditioning, because once they pulled that thing out, there wasn't any air conditioning. So they really helped me out by coming one of the days. And then The second day they got everything up and running and ready to go. So I feel like I've been like checking off some like big adult things. And then at the end of the month, we get the office closes for a week and I'm going to Newport Folk Fest. And then I'm going to Portland, Maine for a few days and just like catching up with some friends and doing some all sorts of, fun time off things in the summer. But my big thing that I did this past week that was for fun was I went to a sing along. I went to an adult sing along. So my friend Nora, her boyfriend Alex is in a band professionally. Like that is they go on tour. He's does it. It's a real thing. And a year or so ago, I don't know how this like came up, but he basically was like, I think we need as adults we need to do more things that like spark joy. And I think it would be really fun to do like a Sunday night sing along where everybody gets to vote on what songs we're going to sing. And I'll play the piano and there's not going to be any microphones. It's just going to be us and like a packet of lyrics. Sing your hearts out. Everybody makes a contribution and you get like drink tickets and food tickets. All the food is made by Alex, Nora, his bandmates, their partners. Like it's like an all hands on deck community thing. And they have it in Jamaica Plain at this like kind of ramshackle community theater center. Like you walk in and you're like, this kind of looks like the cafetorium in my elementary school. Like
Okay.
and like all the folding chairs and everything say like Metco on them. Like they're like really old and like the building is not handicap accessible like in any way. You have to go up and down a flight of stairs to get to the bathroom. Like it's really like a funny it's like something like out of Stars Hollow that like they would have their like adult theater productions in for like free. That's what this place is. But it also has like a bar area, so like it clearly was like an actual event space at one point in time. So I went there on Sunday night. There were probably like 50 people, maybe more, singing our hearts out. It was delightful. We're having focaccia and there was a cake, empanadas, hard seltzers, white wine, like whatever you wanted, homemade lemonade, like whatever you wanted, you could get. And then you just grabbed a packet and the music was, I mean, we did everything from like Cry Me a River to Mamma Mia to a song by Evanescence that I hadn't thought of in a million years. Like he would do 4 or 5 songs and then there'd be like a 15 or 20-minute break for people to chat and get drinks or whatever. And then we'd do another 4 or 5 songs. And there were some songs where people got really into it and were like breaking into the parts. So like the Cry Me a River, cry me, like all that. There were musical people in the audience, so people like really went for it. Some people were up dancing and singing. Some people chose to sit down. Like every age you could pop. I think the oldest people were probably in their 70s, and the youngest person was like 3. It was a freaking hoot and a half. I loved it. It sparked so much joy. I knew way more lyrics to those songs than I thought. There were quite a few songs where I like didn't even really have to look and I was like, wow, where like it came out of the bowels of my soul. He's planning on doing another one because every time they have one, more people come and they're like not even close to maxing out the space. And it was from like 5:30 to 9 on a Sunday. And like it was awesome.
It sounds
So,
pretty great.
yeah, it's pretty great and he's a really good piano player, so like it's just like really fun. So I'm looking forward to whenever the next one is and I hope that I'm able to bring more people, but there were like Nora is like a childhood friend and then there were like 2 other people from high school there and then a bunch of people that I know through Alex's band and stuff. So like I knew more people than I thought I would. But like even so, it was just like everybody was there to like sing and feel good. And it was like really lovely.
I love
Um
that.
yeah, it was pretty cool. So I was like, you don't necessarily need to do a Halloween one, but what if there was like a harvest time
Oh,
one? You know what I mean? Like I feel like these
apple
people could
cider,
yeah, it could be
donuts,
really fun. Yeah.
pumpkin
My
themed
favorite
delicacies.
I I feel bad saying this because Nora made like an unbelievable like vegan focaccia that like people were raving about, and I'm sure it was delightful, but my favorite thing was somebody made gochujang sugar cookies, which I need to tell Steph about. Delightful sugar cookie that like just had like a little spice, just a little kick on it. And I was like, I don't know who came up with this idea, but these are unbelievable. So I had two of those. Two of my food tickets went to that.
This sounds like a delightful experience. And I love that it just sounds like so community centric. Like the goal isn't for everyone to be a perfect musician or everything to feel super fancy. It's just about
The
having a
no
great time.
microphone aspect really like changes the game, I feel like. And Alex would just be like, and now you come in, and he'd like start and like that's like how we, because sometimes we like didn't know when the singing started. Um but it was a real hoot. It really was. It was really great.
I
And then
love that.
they had like a little like Sharpie paper situation with a basket where you could put in your requests for the next one. Because like when he sent the invite out, there was a whole thing where you voted. I mean, he probably had like 100 songs for us to vote on, and then he took like the top 20 or whatever. So we like took time to like, I want some Mariah Carey. I do think It's All Coming Back to Me Now by Celine Dion might have been the most well performed, most dramatic, most fist pumps. I think the one that was the most lovely slash nostalgic was we sang towards the end, I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. And
I probably would have cried.
everyone like really knew that one well. Like there weren't any moments where we were like, oh, we're a little out of tune. It's like everyone really knew that one. And that was like the one that at the end, Alex was like, wow, that was like really nice. And I was like, it was really nice. So yeah, it was really great. It was just one of those things where like you were sitting there singing and you just like looked around and everybody was like into it. And you were like, am I really here? Like, is this really happening? Like, it was just like so pure that you were like, this stuff still occurs. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody was like in a good mood and there was no drama. And like one person when we were done singing was like, so where do all these chairs go? And we literally cleaned the entire place up in like under 10 minutes. It was insane. Like, it was insane. Can't recommend enough. We'll send you the invite when the next one comes out.
Please. I was just thinking I would
It
love to come
was
whenever they do it again.
it was great. And honestly, like I have like a sneaking suspicion that Chef T knew like half the people in the room. Like, I'm not even joking.
Highly likely.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just like the vibes, like everything about it. And then like my friend John that I've known since preschool, there was this guy that was like getting really into the singing, and at one point he like threw his lyric booklet thing and it like whacked into my leg, and he was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I got really into it. This guy was like 6'5", man bun, beard, like very into it. And John leans over and he goes, I'm fairly sure that's Alan, and he was my first roommate in Boston when like we got out of college. And I was like, pardon me. And then later on, I like turned and I looked, and they were like giving each other a huge hug, and I was like, oh my god, it is Alan. So it's like one of those things where like people were just bumping into each other from like different parts of the city and like different times of their lives, and it was just, and everybody was just having a great time. So many it was just hilarious. And everybody was like, at one point Chrissy looked at me and she was like, so like what's in right now for clothes, because everybody here is wearing whatever they want. And I was like, yeah, I think that's pretty much what it is right now. Like, you can just wear, some people, like one girl had like a prairie dress on, other people had on like jean shorts, some people had like tie-dye knee socks on, like you name it, people were wearing it. And she's like, so like what do people wear these days? I'm like, anything. They wear anything. Like, that's what's going on. So yeah, it was awesome.
I love that. Shall we talk about our book for today?
Sure. So I forget how long ago, a couple years ago, I randomly picked up an Elsie Silver book. called Wild Love. I think at Target, if I'm I think at Target, and the cover kind of caught my eye. It was like a really cool like collaged cover, and I love small town romances. Like I'm a big sucker for that. And I didn't really know anything about this author, and I think I texted you and Steph and was like, "Have either of you read this?" You guys said no. So I got it, and then I proceeded to that was the Rose Hill series, and I proceeded to like read the entire series and really enjoy it. And I'm pretty sure that's becoming a TV show now. So when I heard she was coming out with a new series, I like bookmarked it on my Goodreads, and I think that I put it in my calendar maybe when it was coming out because the description of this new series sounded really good. So this week we're talking about Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. It's the first book in a new series, and I believe she's already announced when the second one is coming out. I'll have to look that up. But it is a really fun premise. She's really good at doing like the banter that we love, like that Lynn Painter is so very capable of. But this is about Emmett and Julia. They know each other from like a previous encounter many moons before. He grew up on a ranch with his grandparents and his siblings and has become like a rodeo star. Like he's like on the circuit. He's trying to like win the buckle. He's come close a couple of times and he's really good at it and he's like really confident about it and like has the looks and he has all the rodeo bunnies or whatever they're called and he's got it like going on, but like back home the ranch is like kind of falling apart financially and he's kind of like I've got to like get some wins so that like the sponsor money comes in and I can like make sure that my grandparents who like took us all in and like gave us all jobs and made sure like we had food and clothes and school and everything, like that they don't have to worry anymore. And he finds out that the grandparents are like not being totally honest and that like the ranch can't really wait much longer. So he makes a pretty drastic decision to join a reality bachelor show that will film at his family's ranch and will see him matched with the girl of his dreams, quote unquote. And while this sounds like it could be like kind of any guy's like dream, you know what I mean? Like, oh, all the girls are coming to me and like you're going to pay me to like make out with these girls and be on this show. He's not really that kind of guy. And he also is like when you're filming a show like that, nobody knows that you're doing it and you sign all these NDAs. And he's like, when this gets out on the circuit that like I filmed the show and did this, like everybody in the rodeo circuit is going to just like be taking a crap on me. Like they're going to just absolutely skewer me. Now, this is a forbidden romance, right? This is like a secret forbidden romance situation. And so in walks Julia, who is the location supervisor for the show. She is really up and coming, really trying to make a name for herself. And she gets this gig because she knows the area. And she and Emmett have had a run in previously that you're kind of getting bits and pieces of like how they knew each other. But needless to say, they're not each other's favorites. And now she's like doing all the scouting for like this is how we're going to set up the bunks for the girls to sleep in and like this is how we're going to introduce your family and like this is the bar that you're going to take the girls on a date to and like she has to scout it all out, make it look pristine and then insert him with these girls that he's not really interested in going. Like he makes it very clear that he doesn't really want to be there and he's not very good at faking it. So she very quickly has to be like, don't mess this up because this is like my first big break in reality TV. And like, if you can't play the part, it's going to be a mega problem. And the like overall producer of the show is a mega jerk, as they seem to all be. And he's going to make our lives miserable and he'll just pull the plug on this if you like don't get your act together. So very quickly, like they're kind of at each other's throats a little bit because she's like, this is my big break. You need the money. You need to suck it up. And then obviously sparks fly immediately. And I just found this to be a really freaking fun book. I thought it was really fun.
Okay, I have to back up to what you said at the beginning, which is that you introduced me to this author. I had never read any of her books before. We were on a trip with Steph in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and you passed the book on to me. And I will read any romance, really, like any premise. It doesn't really matter. But I looked back at my Goodreads review for that book, Wild Love. And I had written, first of all, I gave it 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote, Ford Grant belongs in the Book Boyfriend Hall of Fame. Wow. The banter between Ford and Rosie was incredible. I laughed out loud so many times. I adored the story. I did not want to put the book down. So when you told me about this book, I was already in because I knew that I liked her writing. And as you said earlier, she's a great banter queen. But then you throw in the reality dating premise, of which I watch all of those shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I
And
was
I don't.
already
So I feel like it really does say something that I really enjoyed it when I don't watch any of those shows.
totally. So I described this to people after I finished it as Done and Dusted, which is by Lila Sage, meets Unreal, which was a scripted show about the
Loved that
behind the
show.
scenes lives of the producers of The Bachelor. So if you like that kind of sort of seedy, everyone's kind of behaving badly, this isn't a romance that is totally saccharine. There is some sort of like tension building stuff going on in their professional lives. And I also just have to say, I took a picture of this when I cracked this book open. You know how I always love a killer first sentence of a book, okay? The first sentence of this is, even a man whore has to have some boundaries. So you had me. I was
Mm-hmm.
already in.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the dynamic of Emmett trying to do this for money and really not being able to go through with it, just being unable to fake interest in these women, interest in these stupid dates. Even if you are excited to be cast as the Bachelor, some of the things that make you do are pretty embarrassing. And when Julia comes onto the scene, it's like she is the reminder to him that he's still a real person outside of this. And their conversations are his anchor, really, so that he doesn't become totally unmoored by the sham of all of this. And I have to say, some of the stuff that Elsie Silver has given the character of Julia really made me laugh. For example, she says, some people have dogs or children. I have plants. I'm a weird plant lady. That plant you're fondling, that's Keanu Leaves. She names all of her
Yep.
plants.
Yep.
And I just felt like this was so fun to move through their relationship, the drama on the show, the pulling at the heartstrings with his grandparents. It kind of had something for everyone in terms of the dynamics. I think I read this like over 3 days of a weekend, and I just really enjoyed it and felt like I can't wait to see. Well, they kind of set up who the next people will be, and it's
Mm-hmm.
obvious as you're reading, especially those of us who have read many of
Yep.
these romance series, you know where this is going. And I thought that was cool. Like you were getting a little hint of who the next focal point would be for the next book. And however many of these she decides to do, of which Fever Dream is the first, I'm in. Like I
Yeah.
really love her writing style, and I find it, even though it's not super spicy compared to some of the other authors that we've read, it does have just the chemistry that makes you totally intrigued to see where the story is going to go.
Yeah. And it's just like they're funny characters. They banter, but also like they bash each other a little bit and they like know how to like poke the bear a little bit. And I just thought the angle of like I don't, again, I don't really watch these reality dating shows, but like I know enough from pop culture that like it's unusual for an entire dating show to take place at the bachelor's like
Correct.
home residence, right?
Correct.
And like that the girls are sleeping in like a bunk that farmhands used to live. You know what I mean? Like I understand, and like as I was reading it, I was like, if this was a show, I might actually watch it. Like if they plucked an NFL star or somebody out of nowhere and they were like, "Oh, and he grew up on this farm in Kentucky and like we're going to have the whole show take place in Kentucky at his with his like probably crazy relatives and like everybody that works on the farm and like la di da di da and these girls are going to have to like rough it and like win over his heart." I'm like, I think I might actually watch that. Like
Okay, I
that
need
could
you to know there was a season of The Bachelor where the Bachelor's name was Chris Soules, and Farmer Chris for short, he grew up on a corn farm.
but he wasn't famous. I
No,
like
no,
the
no, of
famous
course.
part. No, I like the
Yes,
like there's gotta
totally.
be some flavor there. It can't just be like farmer. Like it needs to be like farmer that made it and
Yes,
is now
totally.
back looking for romance on the ranch.
Totally.
Um, I just think there's something there. I just feel like that could be an actual show that I would enjoy and really like have a good laugh at. Because I feel like that's what's missing from those shows is that
Mhm.
like you're not really getting to know like where they're from. It's like all fantasy, right? It's all like we're going to take you on a helicopter to this vineyard and you're going to go on this date and it's going to be magical and then like it'd be great if you made out at the end because ratings like really, and I'm like, yeah, that's not what anybody really wants to see. Like, we don't need the fantasy. I mean, maybe some, obviously it's working. People like the fantasy factory, but like, I think if so and so had like a racist uncle that really said the wrong things at the wrong time, like, that's the show I want to watch. Like, I want to see you going to dinner with so and so's family and like it really gets out of hand quickly. Like that's good reality TV in my mind. So if they come
Totally.
up with that show whenever that decides to happen,
You'll be in.
I think I'll be ready. I think I'll be ready. Um but yeah, I'm looking forward to the other books. I think I got to look it up, but I think the second one might even come out like before this year is over or like at the beginning of 2020. I think she was like ready to roll with this series and now they're just going to like come out like bing bang bong.
Amazing.
I
I
haven't
love that.
heard I haven't heard anything about the casting for the Rose Hill series, but I'm also really looking forward to that because there's like a music component to that book series that I think could be really cool if they do it right. I just feel like the book girlies are really blessed right now. Like I feel like everyone is getting adaptations and like we've all been waiting for it. There were so many years where we were like if one more freaking remake, reboot, re whatever, like we don't need Karate Kid 7. Like
Right,
we're
right.
good. Like I'm so glad that they're finally like, "Oh, why don't we like go to the actual writers who produce books that people really like and they know how to tell a story and like why don't we make those movies?" That being said, whoever adapted the Carly Fortune book, whoa, nope, you need to work on it. You need to go back to school and figure out how to make it not sad sap,
Yeah,
horrible,
big time. What's
not
so
enjoyable.
interesting is even though our opinion, all three of us, was that the adaptation was very poorly done, they have already been greenlit for the second season, which will be based on Charlie Florrick's book. I loved that book. I would say it's in my top two of her set of titles, but I'm so heartbroken with how they adapted the first one. I'm almost afraid to watch the second one.
I probably won't.
It just,
The
I
first
don't
one
know.
brought me no joy. It was really I really trogged through the
Yeah,
last few episodes of that. And I'm like, there's so many books I could be reading. There's so many other shows I could be watching. Like I just don't need to do that.
yeah,
Um, which is such a bummer.
I know. It really is.
Tell us what you're reading right now, and I'm gonna look up when the second book
Oh,
comes out.
okay. So I went to Chicago a few weeks ago, and one of the stops that I made was to a romance bookstore called Pink Couch Books, which is in Wilmette. So for those who are in the Midwest, if you happen to be there, definitely stop in and support them. I made an impulse purchase, literally, of something I just saw on a shelf. It is called Toe to Toe by Fallon Ballard. I have not read any of Fallon Ballard's books. This is my first one.
I haven't either.
So when I read the back of this, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be Center Stage, one of my favorite movies of all time, meets Magic Mike. The premise here is that Allegra is a traditional ballet dancer, a la Center Stage, and she is desperately trying to become a principal dancer. And the next big production is going to be like a very sultry, steamy kind of role. And the director of the company tells her he doesn't think that she has the sex appeal to take on that role. So she decides, after going to her sister's bachelorette party at a Magic Mike like show, to ask the lead dancer, who she later finds out is the owner of this business, to give her dance lessons so that she can add in this style to her dancing. And, in a surprise to no one, they fall in love. I will leave it at that because I don't want to give anything away, but
Okay.
I will say, sometimes I think books with these kinds of, I'll hold it up again for those who are watching us, these kinds of illustrated covers, they sometimes aren't taken as seriously as they should be because they
Yeah.
look a little bit juvenile.
Yes.
There's nothing
Agreed.
juvenile about this story at all. And I was reading it on the beach and I just tossed up an Instagram story saying, like, this book is incredible, like Center Stage meets Magic Mike. I got probably 25 DMs within an hour saying, like, what more can you tell me about this book? That's fascinating. I loved both those movies. Like, fill me
Yep.
in. So, in a way, I feel like the cover art here maybe is going to deter some people from picking it up, but you're hearing it here. This is a superb romance. I laughed. I smiled so hard I thought my face was going to break. I was hearing the Center Stage soundtrack in my head as I read. It's like a fantastic summer book.
That's awesome. I'm getting live text news right now from
Oh,
friends. Okay, first of all, we didn't bring this up at the top of the hour, but the lettuce diarrhea thing is like taking everybody by storm, and everyone's like panic, like, should I go buy like all the canned vegetables at Costco and blah, blah, blah. But one of my group texts, I just found out that Chickadee is closing on Saturday, like forever, which
oh,
is it's probably my favorite Boston restaurant. I just took Elise and Julie there like a few weeks ago. I
that's very
cannot believe
sad.
this. I'm so bummed. I loved that place. I had a feeling because when we were there, they had a prefix menu, and I was like, that's never a good sign. And they tried to do lunch a few times and then like cut it back and said, no, we're just doing dinner.
Yeah.
I am so bummed. And now I'm going to have to tell my brother, and he's going to be bummed. Anyway, okay, let me tell you about what I'm reading. I have two
Please
books.
do.
The first book, actually, my brother recommended.
Okay.
It's called The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell by Robert Dugani. And it is it
Is it
takes
fiction?
place, it's fiction, and it takes place like in the 60s and then like towards present day. And it's about a boy named Sam Hill, and they call his nickname growing up as Sam Hell because he's born with red irises. Like his eyes are
Whoa.
red. And as a kid, he very quickly like gets discriminated against, and his parents are very Catholic and they send him to a parochial school, and the parochial school tries to say like, oh, we're actually all full, like we can't take you. And his mom makes like a big stink and like gets him in, and then he proceeds to kind of have this like wild childhood because like he's not treated normally, and like he befriends the only African American kid in the entire school, and they're like the two outcasts together and become best friends. And it goes through this like extraordinary life that he leads just because of this
Hmm.
one simple medical anomaly that happens when he's born. My brother could not put it down. He could not stop talking about it. And I was like, well, what's it about? And he's like, it's just about his life. He's like,
Hmm.
all these things happen. And he's like, it goes through some pretty tumultuous time periods, like think Forrest Gump kind of thing. And like his parents are just like really adamant that he's not different, and but that he's going to live this extraordinary life. And
Hmm.
they keep saying that, and he keeps being like, when's it going to happen? And like, I don't think you understand what's going on at school. Like, just
Mm.
all these things. And so I'm at the point in the book where he's only like 8 or 10.
Oh,
And
okay.
I know that it goes through like his whole life. And
Sure.
so I'm really looking forward um to what happens, because Brad like could not put it down, and he was like, I can't believe I hadn't like heard more about this book. And then when I added it on my Goodreads, I had 8 friends that had already read it.
No way.
And I was like, I have 8 friends that have read this book, and Brad's like raving about it, and nobody told me to read it. It
Wow.
was really kind of, yeah, that like never happens. And I've not heard of this author, and he's written a bunch of other books. I don't know, totally random. I don't know if it, I feel like it did maybe win some things, but anyways, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. It's very well written.
Amazing.
The other book I'm reading is, I finally, and there's no reason why this hasn't occurred yet. Okay, there's literally no reason. I don't have any like ill will. I'm not anti. It's not like somebody's told me that she's terrible. I'm finally reading my first Emily Henry book, Book Lovers. I have 2 or 3 of her books in my library collecting dust. Why have I not picked up any of them? I think it's because she's so popular. I
I
think it's
get it.
I think it's honestly like, I'm not discovering her. It's not like if I tell somebody like, "Oh, well, have you read this one?" Everybody's going to be like, "Yeah, Caitlin, I read it like 10 years ago. Like, where have you been? It's already a movie. Like, get over it." Like, I really got behind on the Emily Henry train, and then it
Yeah.
was like, then we started doing the pod, and I'm like, when do I have time to like insert her into my rotation, because it's not like this is going to be
Yeah.
one that like everyone's dying for me to pass to them. You know what I mean? Like, they've been out
Sure.
for a while. It's great.
I'm so glad you're liking it.
It's honestly really, it's really great. It's, I mean, this one, have you read this one?
Yes, I
Oh,
did.
okay. So this one's about a New York City book editor and a New York City publishing agent,
Mhm.
and they're kind of like very similar people, but they think that they're like nemesis. And they both end up in this like picturesque small town that one of their authors' books takes place in.
Okay.
And they both end up there, one for vacation and one because he actually is from there and she didn't know that. And they keep bumping into each other, and they keep being like having these like funny banters and these back and forths, and like he makes fun of her for being kind of an ice queen, and she makes fun of him for like the same reasons. And then they both realize that those are just like the work reputations that they have, and that they're not actually like that, and that they might actually have things in common and like actually like each other. And there's some other like family stuff going on that she's like dealing with, where she like has had issues with dating, and her mom died when she was young, and like, it's always good when there's like those other backstories going on. Like, I feel like it gives the romances like a little more juice, a little more
Totally.
backbone to like, okay, there's a reason why. Because it's always like, oh wow, these 2 hot people, like nothing's ever worked for them. Like, that's so weird, and it's like really unrealistic. But then it's like, oh, they both have some baggage going. Like, he has a family member with medical issues, and like her mom died when she was only 20 and she had to take care of her younger sister. Like, they both have stuff. And it's like, when authors, particularly romance authors, like gloss over those things, it's like hard to buy into what's going on.
Totally.
And so I feel like I'm understanding the Emily Henry hype, because she's doing the work to make it more substantial, and like, it's easier to buy into what's going on with these people.
Yes.
um and obviously the book stuff, obviously like, we're book lovers, and so it makes sense that I felt like this was a good gateway drug for the Emily Henry books.
Totally. What's interesting is most of her books are set in the Midwest. So you're actually
Oh.
getting kind of a different vibe. Um, she likes, like a lakefront
Mm,
situation. She
okay.
does have a story that's set in Maine, which we actually did a dedicated episode about. But um, that book lovers, has been greenlit for an adaptation. And forgive me, this actress, she plays Daphne in Bridgerton. I think her real name is Phoebe.
Devner,
Thank you.
Divner, something like
Thank you.
that.
So she's going to lead that
She's the
movie.
OG Bridgerton girl.
Yes. So she's going to lead that movie, and I'm excited for that.
Wait, is
And
that the one with Patrick Schwarzenegger?
I think so.
Oh
I think so. I
no.
forgot that he was cast as the male lead.
Are
You're
you
right.
serious?
You're right.
That's this one?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh. Please be wrong.
Well,
Hold on,
yeah.
hold on. Oh shit.
Is that right? Did you fact check it?
Yeah, it's right.
I'm so sorry. It's okay.
He
Many
doesn't
of
look
her other
anything
projects.
like him.
I know.
He's
I know.
supposed to have Groucho Mark eyebrows. Groucho
Yeah,
Mark's
definitely.
eyebrows
Well,
and
maybe he's
dark
gonna get.
hair. Oh my god. How did they goof and she's supposed to be this like bleach blonde
Well, she
five
may go
foot
blonde.
11 knockout.
She may go blonde. I know. I know. I know. We've been having a
That's a
hard time.
skip. Oh my
We've been having a hard
god.
time with the casting.
That's a skip. It's fine. I don't need to see every film adaptation. It's just really nice when it works out that I want to.
Yes, agreed. Big time agree.
But whoa, baby, that's not even close.
But back to what you were saying a few moments ago. I'm so happy that you entered the Emily Henry universe because I do think her writing is great. And much like people who are fans of, say, Carly Fortune, once you enjoy one, you really will enjoy the others. And even though they're all standalone, it's her style. It's almost like when you come to one of her books, you're like, like my comfort zone is here. Like I know that I'm going to meet these, as you said, complicated, flawed people, but I'm also going to feel like what it feels like to be hopeful and what it feels like to meet someone who might be like your perfect match in terms of the banter or the intelligence. And I just think she has a real gift for a certain type of storytelling. And for me, it's just like nostalgia overload, especially when she does the ones set in the summertime and places where people go every single year, which has been a theme in a few of her other stories. And we consume a lot of press interviews with authors, me, you, and Steph. I find Emily Henry has a deep level of gratitude and humility for the position she has found herself in, which, as a reader who has massively contributed to her financial success, I really appreciate when an author says, like, I never thought this would happen, or like, I can't believe I have the gift
She's
of like,
Midwestern. She's from Cincy.
yes. And she really, it seems, no matter how big she gets, still finds it all thrilling and incredible. And I just love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll definitely be reading more of her books. And it is nice to have an author like that in your back pocket that has a bunch of things already out.
Yes. The
And
backlog.
I'm not going to lie, Molly. I know that I just said that I was like so excited for Fever Dream 2 to come out, which hold
Yeah.
on, I did have that pulled up, but then I got really distracted by my restaurant being closed. Book 2 of the Emerald Lake series comes out May 18th, 2027.
Okay.
No title released yet.
Okay.
Even though I do love a series, I feel like not everything needs to be a series, and Emily Henry is all standalones, and I'm real happy about that.
Me too.
Honestly,
Me too.
honestly. I feel like I haven't found a romance author recently that isn't doing series. And
Yeah.
so I'm like very pleased about that.
Yeah.
Um One other thing that I just wanted to mention real quick that has nothing to do with anything that we were just talking about.
Okay.
It does have to do with books. I Speaking of books that are coming out, John Green has a new book coming out called
Oh,
Hollywood Ending,
okay.
and it's his first novel in over a decade. His last two books were nonfiction. He wrote that book about everything is tuberculosis, and then he wrote another one that was called The Anthropocene Reviewed, which was
Right.
essays. So it's been a minute since he's done a novel. So people are like, he had said he wasn't sure he had another novel in him. He was like, I might be a nonfiction writer now. So the fact that out of nowhere, he's like, I'm coming out with a novel. He just announced his book tour.
Yeah.
He's not coming to Boston, but he is going to Portland, Maine. And I was like, ooh, I could go to Portland, Maine at the end of September, like twist my arm. Then I looked it up. It's at the State Theater and it's $63 to go. And I
Wow.
was like, and it includes the book, which, okay, great. The book is like
So let's call it
$30.
$30 hardcover.
But I was like, what is going on? Like, I'm not going to drive to Portland, Maine and pay $63 to do this. And I
Yeah,
was
that's
just
a
a
lot of money.
little bummed about it. And he is like a big time charity guy, so I'm sure like once there's more information about it, like it's probably going to be like, and this percentage of it goes to, whatever, because he's a very charitable person. But I was just like, yeah, this is too much. Like, I
That's
don't
a
want to do
bummer.
this. And also, State Theater is pretty big. So
Yeah,
it's like you could be sitting pretty far away from him and like the books are going to be pre-signed. I just feel like we're getting away from this, like you get to actually meet the author and talk to them and they sign the book. And we're getting more into like go to the Wilbur Theater or go to State Theater and like get this already autographed book. And it's like I could get that at a bookstore. Like I don't. So I don't know. But I'm not going to go. But I just wanted to put that in there because I forgot about mentioning it at the beginning.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Oh well.
Listeners, if you want to see the list of all the books that we discussed today, please join us on Instagram. That's where we share the full list of every title we mention every episode. You can also now watch us in full on YouTube. So please head over there if you like to have the video element. We do, of course, do our clips on Instagram, but you can watch the whole thing uninterrupted. If you liked what you heard today, we would be honored if you would leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really helps people find the show. And if you'd like to send us any feedback or books you'd like us to cover, please write to us. Plansarebooked@gmail.com.
And until next time, our plans are booked.